In this video, I will talk about how to distinguish a good agent from a fraudster, the features of apartments and villas in Phuket, and how to properly purchase real estate on the island of Phuket. At the end of this video, you will receive a clear step-by-step action plan in the form of a file. Hello everyone, this is Sergei Shaliapin. For over 5 years, I have been involved in real estate on the island of Phuket. I own a real estate agency and a management company, and I also invest my own money in real estate on the island. Therefore, I believe I have the right to share my personal experience. Let's get straight to the point. How do you properly buy real estate in Phuket? First, you need to determine the purpose of the purchase. Currently, about 90% of purchases are for investment purposes. However, there are other goals as well. Before you start looking at options and choosing something, determine which option is right for you. Here are the main goals of purchasing: to move money outside of Russia, or to preserve what has been earned and invest in a reliable material asset that will pay off and generate income. The most popular option today: to distribute your assets or to put your eggs in different baskets. Diversification. Buy a vacation home abroad for your family and friends that will pay for itself and generate income. Play around with construction and earn 20-30% on building and then quickly resell. Establish a source of passive income. A pension, simply put, to indulge oneself with an impractical but very pleasant purchase in such a prestigious and expensive place as Phuket. Various combinations of these options are also possible. The next step is to choose the type and segment of real estate that suits you best. Based on your set goals and requirements, determine which type of real estate will suit you. For example, villas are well suited for long-term stays. They offer a high level of privacy and comfort. Apartments are an optimal investment and a highly liquid asset. Now I will talk about the types of housing in Phuket. You see a comparative table of the pros and cons of apartments and villas in Phuket. Let's start with the villas. Look at the advantages: privacy, prestige, private territory and pool, large area and space, lower price per square meter, private parking space, expensive and longer rental. Now the downsides. There is complexity in the paperwork, distance from the sea, which is usually greater than that of apartments. The complexity of selling, more expensive maintenance, as well as issues of security, profitability, and occupancy are more acute than for apartments. Now, let's talk about the advantages of apartment. First of all, it is, of course, the price, which is lower than that of a villa. They also usually have a better location. Condominiums offer better services, infrastructure, and of course maintenance. And the investment aspect of apartments is much better. They are easier to sell and they pay off more quickly. The downsides of apartments include, first and foremost, the lack of privacy. The larger the complex, the less privacy there is. There is also significantly less space inside, a high cost per square meter compared to a villa, and naturally, higher competition within the complex itself. The next step is to consider the segment in which you will be purchasing real estate. By buying in the budget and mid-range segments, you are targeting the most mass market. However, the competition in it is the highest. If you choose something more exclusive and expensive, you certainly stand out in the market, but the payback period for such properties is usually longer and they may be harder to sell. Before you are the main market segment. The entry-level option is suitable only for permanent residence or long-term rental. The cost of such apartments is usually from $40,000. The average level or comfort class is the most widely represented segment, optimal as a first investment. But the competition here is quite high. Prices for such real estate start at $65,000 and above. Premium is business class. Such real estate is usually purchased not only for investment but also for personal leisure. The cost of such real estate usually starts at $100,000 and above. High-end and luxury class. Well, everything is clear here. These are rare exclusive properties with unique service and location. The cost of such properties usually starts from $300,000 to $500,000 and can go up to tens of millions of dollars. When choosing, keep in mind that some premium and comfort class properties mimic a higher luxury class. Watch carefully and compare. Do not rely solely on the opinion of your agent and the representatives of the developer. The next step is to assess your budget. When approaching the budget for the purchase, try to think rationally and without excessive optimism. Planning to purchase by selling another property or relying on an inheritance may not be the best idea. It's better to have a bird in the hand, remember. Choose your real estate agency carefully. Your risks are much lower when working with an agent than without one. However, you need to choose wisely. It is better to contact an agency with a reputation and history that has been operating in the market for many years and has a staff of permanent professional agents. I do not recommend working with freelancers because problems usually arise after working with them. At first, it may seem that all agencies are the same, but this is not entirely true. Let's take a look at the signs of a bad agency. Here are the signs that the agency should not be trusted. Claims of operating under the auspices of the consulate, the embassy of Russia, or various government structures of Thailand are usually unfounded. The agency claims that it operates on behalf of or directly from the developer, and therefore the prices or conditions are special. This is usually not the case. The agent claims that the price of real estate is guaranteed to grow by 10% per year. The agent says that you can earn 25% to 40% of the amount on resale with 100% certainty. The agent claims that there are no risks at all when purchasing. The agent tells you to purchase real estate in Phuket in 5 to 7 years. Income can be guaranteed for 10, 15 to 20 years at 10% annually, for 20 years at 10%. When an agent claims to have many years of experience but cannot readily name other places of work in Phuket, it is easy to verify by simply calling those places. And now on the screen, you will see the signs of a reputable agency. Experience. The level of detail among professionals is much higher. Only those who work with numbers and data constantly can easily handle them. Reputation. There should be reviews. It's easy to post flattering messages about oneself on social media. However, reviews written by real clients are easy to distinguish from paid ones. The comprehensive service offered by a full-cycle agency provides a complete range of services that include not only sales and support, but also management, acceptance, etc. Openness in communication. The agent does not take on increased obligations, and on the contrary, tries to lower the client's expectations. The agent discusses the risks and how to mitigate them. The agent protects your interest and negotiates the best terms and discounts from developers. The agent recommends consulting a lawyer before making the first payment. And of course, free consultation, free support, free acceptance of the finished apartment, as well as a trust management program. All of these are signs of a good agency. Moving on. Overall, communication with the agent should be comfortable and pleasant, easy. If you feel pressure from the agent or any attempts at manipulation, or if they are not fully disclosing the risks involved in the purchase or further use, I advise you to change the agency immediately. At the very least, it is worth talking to a couple of different agents to make the right choice. After all, the choice is always yours. The services of an agent when purchasing, namely consultations, viewings, preparation of yield calculations, acceptance of the apartment, and other services should always be free for the client. This is how all reputable agencies in Phuket operate, and there is absolutely nothing exclusive about it. The next step is to acquire the minimum necessary knowledge about real estate in Phuket. When purchasing, it is very important to understand the difference between freehold and leasehold, and you should also ask the agent about any additional costs that you will face not only during the purchase but also during the registration of the property and subsequent rentals. It would also be helpful to ask the agent about the taxes and additional expenses you can expect both during the purchase transaction and for ongoing maintenance. It is important to know how to minimize them at the time of purchase. Obtain detailed information about management programs both from the developer and from third-party companies. Compare the results yourself. By spending just 1 hour studying the information, you can save tens of thousands of dollars. Look at different options. Be sure to view at least 3 to 5 properties in the same price range but in different areas. Pay attention to the distance from the beach, as not all beaches in Phuket are suitable for swimming. The presence of infrastructure, shops, cafes, restaurants, massage parlors, etc. is important. After all, a hungry tourist is not what you want. Make your choice thoughtfully and logically. Viewings and negotiations often take a long time, exhausting you, which dulls your sharpness of thought and attention. Before making a decision and signing anything, take a time out, go outside, or even take a walk for a couple of hours. Ideally, take the time to sleep on it. In this case, it's better to be overly cautious than not cautious enough. Be sure to check the contract and documents for the property. Attention to detail is a rare trait even for the most experienced realtor in Phuket. By reading the document twice on your own, you will at least grasp its essence. If you have any questions, ask for a translation into your native language. If it is still unclear, then I recommend consulting a lawyer so that they can review the contract and documents. Be sure to duplicate the results of the agreement via email and request a written response. In Thailand, email can be used as evidence in court. The next step is to make the payment correctly. For freehold, payment from abroad is required, as well as confirmation from the bank. In some cases, leasehold can even be paid in cash. Bank transfers are cheaper, but there are some cards that offer cashback. Plan your transfer method to save up to 5% of the amount on exchange rate differences. Decide on management in advance. Think about how and for what fee you will manage your real estate in Phuket. Get information from the agency and do your own research. To summarize, today I talked to you about 11 steps to a conscious purchase of real estate in Phuket. The document you see on the screen will be added to the description of this video. Download and save it for the future. To make an informed choice, take my author course, Real Estate in Phuket in 60 Minutes. You will find the link in the description. This was Sergei Shaliapin with you. I wish you to find the property of your dreams. and see you in Phuket. Goodbye.